All right. Likutei Moharan. This is the Torah of Daled. We're talking about Emtzausa, the Alma, the middle, the world. All right. So we have established so far that there's a light which is beyond Nefesh, Ruach, and Neshama. And that light is called Or Ein Sof. This is the light of infinity. And we said that there are five universes that go from from Ein Sof down to the personal manifestation of each and every one of us. People make the mistake of thinking that this world is a physical world that has a spiritual dimension. But it's the opposite. It's a spiritual world, it's an idea that has a physical dimension. Because even scientists know that mass is basically congealed energy. According to Einstein's, E equal mc square. That energy, what they call the Big Bang, was an explosion. Explosion means just light, okay? And they have these kind of what you would call, fell back a little of ice trays called quarks, in which the energy, congeals into mass. That's why when you split the atom, then when there's a loss of mass, there's a tremendous release of energy. This is like you're taking water and you're melting it, and the water comes out. Kaviyachol. Okay. Well, the one thing they still haven't been able to figure out is that energy can create mass, but they still didn't figure out that intelligence and knowledge can produce energy. They didn't get there yet. Nevertheless, so what we have is Nefesh Ruach Chaya, Nefesh Ruach Neshama Chaya Yechida. This is from down up. You have the soul, which is in the body. You have the Ruach, which is the intellect and the awareness. You have the Neshama, which is the Chelek Elokamimal, and afterwards you have above that you have the Chaya, which is a singular for Chayas, for life, and then you have Yechida, which is a singular. And basically, the Mekubalim give a mashal so people can understand what each part is, and the mashal that they give is the glass blower. Glass blower has a pipe, and at the end of the pipe he has a glob of molten glass, and he blows into it. And it goes up until the desired shape, and then it stops, and then it's being cut. Okay, so in this particular case, the air which is in the vessel which is created, the air comes in, and it expands until it reaches the proper size. Once it gets the proper size, it stops. The air doesn't come in anymore. So it says Yom HaShvi, Shabbos Vayinofash, right? And he rested. So the ultimate achievement, so to speak, state of the nefesh is one of rest. There's Menuchas HaNefesh, Shabbos Vayinofash. This is why it's called nefesh. Now the air going through the pipe into the glob of glass, this is the ruach. Ruach means a moving air, right? It's air which is in a state of movement. This is kaviyachol, the pipe, from the blower into the final destination. The neshama is when the lips of the blower are blowing into the pipe. Only when the nefesh is in rest, it can actually feel the excitement of the ruach. Because as long as the nefesh is all turbulent, it can't feel anything. It's only when you're sitting, once you have your avay nofash, and you're sitting, let's say, on a bank of a river, and then you can, and everything is quiet, you can feel the caress of a breeze on your cheek. Then you can feel the ruach. So the ultimate of the nefesh is menucha. Ruach is excitement. Ruach is movement. Then you can feel, it excites you. The neshama is when the mouth of the blower is blowing that air into the tube. This is akin to the breath of somebody who is very close to you, either a spouse or a child, or whatever that is breathing on your neck. It's an extreme intimacy, of where the blower and the one who gets the air, gets the neshama is mishon neshim, mishon breathing. The chayo is the air, keviyochol, in the air in the lungs of the blower, where it is inside him, but it's not a part of him. But it's his essence. His essence is come out when he blows. It's something that comes from within him, but it's not an intrinsic part of him. That's the chayo. The yechida is the idea of the final creation while it's still in the mind of the craftsman. When they are one, the idea and the thinker are inseparable. Even though it's a thinker who has an idea, nevertheless they are one and together. This is the chaya, yechida, neshama, ruach, and nefesh. So when we are talking about it, there's a light which is, and this corresponds to, to the 5 degrees of items the Mekubalim are talking about, which is Olam Asiyah. It's the lower one. You have the Yetzirah above that. You have the Bria above that. You have the Atzilus above that, which is the only 4 ones that we talk about. But beyond that, which is Kenega, the Chaim, and beyond that we have what they call the Olam Kadmon. The primordial men, so to speak. That is a euphemism for Olam HaKeser, which is the Ein Sof. There's a light above all of this, which is called Ein Sof, which is not fathomable, being that it cannot be encompassed by human intellect. And we said that you can grasp some of it in a way of getting it and not getting it. You're visiting it, and it's a fleeting glimpse from the corner of your eye, as they say. I mean, you get it and you don't get it. And this can only be done through the simcha of the mitzvah, because we say the shleimus of kedusha, the perfection of the kedusha, is simcha. Sadness is an automatic result of excess. When there's too much. In other words, there's no kalim, there's no tools, there's no containers to contain and to manage the wealth, the shefa, and the plenty. What happens is depression. And as long as there's depression, is the mitzias of the klipas. We established that the depression itself is the mitzias of the klipas. So the minute that the simcha of mitzvahs come in, what it does is it disconnects the klipas from the life support, being that the kedusha is the only pipeline. Okay, I see this is not.